G'day guys, today we've got a trigonometry question here where it's asking us to determine the exact value for cosine of 15 degrees. Now, we don't have an exact value for this off the top of our heads, but what we can do is we can utilize a trigonometric identity to be able to determine what the cosine of 15 is. So the trigonometric identity we're going to use is this cosine of A minus B trigonometric identity, because what we can say is this is the cosine of A times the cosine of B plus the sine of A times the sine of B. Now the way this is going to work in terms of this one is I can say that 15 degrees is equal to 45 degrees subtract 30 degrees. So I can substitute this into here. So what I can do is I can write, well, this is going to be equal to the cosine of 45 subtract 30, which according to this identity is going to be the cosine of 45 times the cosine of 30 plus the sine of 45 times sine of 30. Now, these are exact or trigonometric ratios which we should have a exact value committed to memory for. So what we can do is from here, we can then just determine what each of these values are. So the cosine of 45 is 1 over square root 2 times the cosine of 30, which is square root 3 over 2. And we're adding that to the sine of 45, which is equal to the cos of 45, 1 over square root 2 times the sine of 30, which is a half. So, if we multiply these together, we're going to start with 1 times square root of 3 is square root of 3 over 2 times square root of 2 is 2 root 2 added to 1 times 1, would you believe, is 1 over, again, 2 square root 2. Now, because the bases are the same, I can add these together. So it's going to be square root 3 add 1 over 2 square root 2. Now the issue with this is we have a surd in the denominator, so we need to rationalize that by we're going to multiply this by 1, but in a interesting form. So we're going to multiply it by root 2 over root 2, which is equal to 1, so it's not going to change anything. Sorry, multiply, not equals. And what that's going to do is it's going to get rid of the root 2 in the base. So we'll do the top first. So root 2 times root 3 is square root 6. Add root 2 times 1 is root 2. Now root 2 times root 2 is just 2 times 2 is 4. So here is our exact value for the cosine of 15 degrees. Once we are aware of what the trigonometric identity is that we'll need to use to determine this, all we'll have to do then is make sure that we've committed these basic exact values. Now, there is an exact value sort of table that you'll have to commit to memory. I would advise you need to know the exact values for the sine, the cosine, and the tangent of 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. So you need to know the sine, the cosine, and the tangent for each of these values here. Now, that's how I was able to get these values here in this step. I've committed them to memory, and so if you've remembered your phone number, there's no more numbers in that than there is in this table. So what I would do, spend an afternoon making sure you've got that table under control, and these problems will be a walk in the park. So I hope this video helped you understand how you utilize trigonometric identities to solve exact values of ratios that we don't know the exact value for. So I hope the video helped, and if it did, give us a like, subscribe to my channel. I put out videos all the time. You can ask me questions about problems that you're having troubles with, but apart from that, hope you're well, and I'll see you again next time.